This is KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and those of you watching on the video today see that we have a full house. I think this may be the largest group I have ever had in one Culture Crawl interview. Right. It is almost the entire band of Summit as we get ready for Jazz Under the Stars. John Reisner.
Hi.
John Hall.
Hello.
The two Johns. Tim Crumley.
Howdy.
And Peter Hart.
Hi.
Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for getting the whole band together. So we are excited about having you guys at Jazz Under the Stars. We have our fingers crossed that we'll be at Knoll Ridge Park. That will be a first for the 2016 season, if we can get it done. So tell me a little bit about the origins of the band. Peter, I remember you coming to a schoolhouse jazz gig some years ago and saying, I started playing in this new band with John Reisner. And what was it? Of course, you guys have known each other for years, but what was it that led this to kind of start?
Peter, you want to jump in? Or?
Sure. Well, we were in a group called Funk 101, and we were playing with a hand percussionist, Scooter Weinbau, and kind of decided to get together and see what we could do. We were playing at Kennedy Orchestra Hall with John Hall's invitation, and kind of taking some jazz tunes and kind of putting our own stamp on it, turning them into more of a funky Latin, maybe some rock influences, and just enjoying playing together and working on originals, and we started playing the farmers market for fun, and led to other gigs, and I believe this was about maybe 8-9 years ago we started playing.
Yeah, we talked about it the other night.
John, lean in a little bit so we can hear you better.
Well, that's my knee crashing. We talked, it was about 10 years ago we actually started doing this, right? You know, and it's been a lot of fun. I mean, I played with Peter for years. I mean, we go back in the 80s. We were trying to figure that out the other night at the University of Iowa. I think we played together, but we couldn't figure out which band it was.
I think the original jam was Scooter, John, and me. In the orchestra room, and I thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could get Peter Hart to play with us, you know? And we asked him, and he came, and it was like, okay, there's the last piece of this thing. It really worked.
And originally, Scooter was mainly playing hand percussion, so there wasn't even a lot of. You guys didn't even do a lot of set work. How did that change? How did that change the feel of the band?
Adding a drummer?
Well, just how was it doing? How was it? Yeah, to start with, how was it with just the hand percussion?
Oh, it was really nice because it was very dynamic. It was because you had a lot of silence to play in the space, and we were able to really play with that. And if you heard our album, you can see that, and it had a different type of dynamics to it because you could go really soft, you could go really loud, and kind of like the early jazz type standards that were out there.
But then you added, Scooter moved away.
Yes, the bum.
And I know, and Dennis McPartland's in the band too. He's not with us today. And then Tim. So you've gone from one guy playing congas to two entire drum sets.
Yeah.
And Tim does a lot of the conga hand percussion stuff. So it's kind of like we added more percussion, but we can still get back to that sparse feel of just Tim on hand percussion if we want.
Tell me a little bit about the repertoire. I mean, you know, Peter, you said some standards, some original stuff, but what is it? What are you trying to accomplish with this band that maybe is different from other groups you're in? Anybody? John, you want to start? John Hall?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a unique kind of platform. It's different from anything I do with any of the other groups that I work with. Going all instrumental for one thing, it pushes the group in a certain direction there. There's a lot of soloing involved in it. Sometimes, that's not my role in some of the other groups that I'm working with, but, in some it is. But this group has allowed me the privilege of working with some really good players with some deep knowledge and great chops that I can learn a lot from, and I'm always seeking out people that I can learn stuff from, and these guys have been wonderful for that. I'm always learning, and I'm trying to cop their licks and stuff and learn how they play it. So for me, that's a big part of what this is about.
I actually asked Natalie Brown the same question last week because she, of course, is your counterpart directing the orchestra over at Washington. You're the orchestra director at Kennedy High School in Cedar Rapids. And tell me about how it is as a teacher and playing out a lot. And does that change the dynamic and relationship with the students at all? Because it's got to, because they see you in a lot of roles other than just the guy standing up at the podium telling them what to do.
Yeah. If they do happen to catch me at a show, such as Jazz Under the Stars, which is all ages, and of course they can come to that, they do get to see me in a different perspective from in the classroom every day. But within the context of my program at Kennedy, I do try to integrate different styles of music. It's not just the classics, but we do a symphonic rock concert.
I know you do a rock concert every year.
As a matter of fact, we had Natalie Brown was a guest on the last year's show. And, they know that I'm a little bit different from the regular teachers.
Yeah. And we can vouch for that.
Other than that, when I do O'Malley's on Thursday nights with Craig, that's a little rough going to work on Friday morning, when I play in the Craig Erickson band.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worth it. I find it's worth it to do it. And I'm lucky to be able to work with all the people I get to work with, so I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can.
Talking with the members of Summit, who are the guest artists on KCCK's Jazz Under the Stars third concert, which is coming up this Thursday. Cross our fingers in Norridge Park. For years, I haven't really ever qualified that. I've just said it's coming up in Norridge Park, but I'm a little skittish this year, and I'm prevaricating just a little bit. But fingers crossed, it's going to go well. Tim, you're the youngest, but also latest member of this band. What is, you guys all gig a lot, but tell me about what's different about this one as opposed to the other bands that you play in.
I'd have to say that we don't really talk about rules. We don't talk about parameters of any particular song. Maybe with this gig coming up, we're honing in on how long a tune should be or how long a solo should be. But as far as ideas, it's a great band to be a part of. You get Peter here playing some great Coltrane-esque type lines, and then you get John here when he's playing the bass. He was really an unbelievable asset when we played at the Opus. That was my first gig with these guys, mm-hmm. And that was a lot of fun too. That was on air. You had some type of palpable intensity there, but it's just fun.
And John Reisner, you've written, you and Peter have written some songs for the band.
Yeah, that's always kind of fun. We just finished one that we're going to unveil, second set for you guys, and we actually titled it Under the Stars.
Nice.
Yeah, so first time for that. And it is a pleasure to play originals with these guys because they take it to the limit. They're such good players, they can understand the idea you're trying to get across very quickly. And then we expand on it, and there's no egos when we play it, which is wonderful. At this stage in my life, anyway. So I enjoy it, the freedom of it, and of course, being able to express yourself is really what it's all about.
Well, in addition to your concert, we're also inviting everybody to come and buy CDs and records. It's the KCCK CD and record sale, with you're going to cart out just acres and acres of stuff for just $1 a disc. So bring your grocery bag as well, and check out some of the CDs and records while you're listening to the music. Peter, any final thoughts?
Well, what differentiates us from a lot of jazz groups is, a lot of jazz musicians will take a pop tune or a rock tune and kind of jazz it up. Well, we're jazz musicians, and we're taking jazz standards and we're kind of turning them funky or rockish or Latin. So it's kind of a little different approach, but it's really fun to do.
And I have to say that I haven't played a gig before with Dennis McPartland, the drummer, and so that's another parameter that it's a lot of fun. He has his own thing, I have my own, but we're able to meet in the middle, and he's more the meat potatoes guy, and I'm kind of doing the hollandaise sauce, type thing on the end. So it's going to be great.
Meat and potatoes jazz with a little hollandaise sauce.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, really looking forward to the concert. We'll cross our fingers to be in Knoll Ridge Park. If not, we will blow the roof off of Parlor City Pub on Thursday. We had a great time there with Mirage last time around, and now that we've kind of broken that space in for Jazz Under the Stars, we know that that's a good location too. But hopefully, you guys will be the first Jazz Under the Stars band to perform on the new band shell.
Oh, yeah.
I know that that the municipal band broke that in earlier in the year, but here we are halfway through Jazz Under the Stars. We haven't got to use it yet.
All right.
So I'm
ready.
really hoping that the weather cooperates. But regardless whether it does or not, we're going to have a great show in Knoll Ridge Park or at Parlor City Pub on Thursday with Jazz Under the Stars. Gentlemen, thanks for coming in. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for all you do for
Yeah.
local talent.